Hello, I'm Jim Lesko, the Executive Director of Amherst Media, and I'd like to take a couple minutes to update you on the status of the Comcast cable renewal. First, I would like to thank the 100-plus community members who showed up and testified at the 2 community ascertainment hearings concerning the Comcast cable renewal last fall. Also, appreciation goes out to the 25 community organizations and individuals who submitted written testimony lauding the work of Amherst Media. Your concerns and identified community needs were documented. Since those hearings, much has transpired among the Cable Advisory Committee, known as the CAC, the interim town manager, legal counsel for the town, and Comcast personnel. The ongoing task of the CAC has been arduous, time-consuming, and often frustrating. We all need to show and express our appreciation for their hard and dedicated work on behalf of the town of Amherst. The CAC took your identified needs and desires into the negotiations. Amherst Media was asked to create a capital budget listing equipment we would need to meet the community's request, which included PEG in high definition, PEG available on demand, inclusion in on-screen scheduling, better lighting and audio for meetings, more live locations. We inventoried our existing equipment, much of which was installed when we moved into our existing studio in 1991. That's 25 years ago. Working with staff and other access centers, we created a capital budget that not only looked at our current needs, but anticipated future technology advancements and replacement costs over the 10-year span of the proposed contract. The total amount was approximately $2.2 million. The source of revenue for the capital budget is what is referred to on your monthly cable bill as franchise-related costs, or FRC. These costs are passed through to the subscriber and do not come out of the Comcast cable-only revenue from the Amherst residents. Comcast cable profit in Amherst was estimated to have been $80 million these past 10 years. During the ascertainment period, Comcast contracted RKM, a research and communications firm, to conduct a phone survey of 300 Amherst subscribers. The results were very favorable to our public education and government programming. For instance, 70% of those surveyed knew about PEG programming. The survey asked how many would be supportive or opposed to paying the current FRC cost. A very high 63% of the respondents strongly or moderately supported the current FRC. The survey then asked, would they be willing to pay more? Again, a very high 59% said that they would be willing to pay more. This is a major endorsement by the local subscribers to pay for the community-identified needs. When it comes to high definition, Comcast continues to protest that it cannot provide HD to PEG. This is not true. They have nationally provided HD elsewhere, as well as nearby Long Meadow, Massachusetts. Their survey found that 78% of the homes in Amherst had HD televisions, with 60% of them subscribing to HD programming. That means 60% of subscribers are paying for a service that they cannot fully utilize. Viewers of PEG programming are denied watching in HD even though they have paid for it. Comcast is actually in violation of the FCC ruling that requires them to carry PEG channels with the same and identical standards as the local network affiliates. There is currently a tentative contract that is being presented to the Select Board on Monday, August 1st, by the interim town manager on his last day in Amherst. The details of this proposed agreement are not in line with what you have asked for. There is no high definition. There is no video on demand. There is no electronic on-screen scheduling. And there is only $950,000 in capital designated for the next 10 years. Amherst Media has reworked our numbers to see if we could meet the cost of the new technology and match your expectations. We cannot. It is too great of a reduction, $1.25 million from our original $2.2 million capital budget request. If this agreement is accepted, then the town will have to spend local revenue to meet the shortfall, which could be as high as $500,000 just to be able to minimally meet the equipment needs. I ask you to contact the Amherst Select Board members and encourage them to take the tentative agreement under advisement and to go back to the negotiating table to get a more equitable and just contract. Somehow, Comcast believes they can tell Amherst what equipment and technology advancements they will allow the town to have. It is time to tell Comcast no. You, the citizens, know what you need. You have expressed yourselves quite clearly, and you have stated you are willing to pay for it within the FRC. Together, we can make history by leaving the past behind and creating something new and responsive to the needs of all of the residents. We should be looking 10 years into the future, not agreeing to outdated status quo. Help us make Amherst known as the town that stood up for its rights against the big corporation Comcast. I appreciate your time and hopefully your support.